Hello, and welcome to episode 227 of the Arena Regulars podcast. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're your source for drunken Magic the Gathering arena content.
That's right, just a couple of regular guys drinking some irregular beers, talking about Magic the Gathering, in particular, the online client, MTG Arena.
That is right. And, well, this is one of our favorite episodes, Jeff, where we're talking about the new set on draft, what cards are good, and what cards we were right about and wrong about from a couple episodes ago. Perhaps maybe that's going to come up. I don't know. It could be kind of cool. Maybe it would be cool if we talked about how some picks were good. Anyway, I'm excited for that. But anyway, each week we bring a beer, we drink it, we rate it on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So that, Jeff, what is on tap this week?
All right, this week we have Jaguar Shark. Cool name.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Reinhard Brewing. Been on the show a few times, I think, Reinhard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say never disappointed.
No.
Never once.
This way.
But I don't know that for sure, because I don't remember. But
Yep.
generally, I think I have just good feeling about Reinhard. And this is a 6% hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Jeff, do you know why it's called Jaguar Shark?
I do not.
Does that ring a bell at all? I don't expect it to. I'm just asking.
Okay, then no.
Okay. So the reason I picked this up is because it's called Jaguar Shark, and I'm pretty sure this is an homage to one of my favorite Wes Anderson films, The Life Aquatic. Where Bill Murray is he's a big, oceanographer. Mm-hmm. He has a show that's similar to like Steve Irwin's show with like animals, but he's going and searching the depths of the ocean and teaching people about different fish and stuff. He makes documentaries. Anyway, he's searching for the jaguar shark, which is the shark that ate his partner. So that's the big thing, one of the big things of the entire film.
Cool.
And so I was like, hey, let's drink this beer. Let's test it out.
I love that.
Yes. So, anyway.
Better be as good as the film.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. That's a great one. That's one of the best Wes Andersons. But in my opinion, it's one of the earlier ones. I haven't kept up as much with Wes as he's been more and more stylized. Yeah, I don't know. Have you watched any Wes Anderson movies?
I don't even really know who that is.
Okay. He did like the Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic. He did Moonrise Kingdom. There's a lot of films.
I think I've heard of the Royal Tenenbaums.
Mm-hmm. He has the aesthetic that's like very symmetrical, where it's like, and everybody talks kind of in monotone with almost no emotion. And it's very, he did the Darjeeling Limited. That's beautiful. All of his films are very aesthetically pleasing. But there's a lot of shots. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
although it's not super symmetrical.
It's not, but it has some kind of funky. There's some artistic thing going on with it.
Yeah. And
all of Wes Anderson's stuff has that, where it's like, I don't know. There's like plinky plunky music, and people are, standing perfectly in frame, or if they're out of like line, they'll like make a motion to then complete the symmetricalness of it. And I don't know. It just feels good to watch his movies, and I enjoy them a lot. They feel a little bit more mainstream nowadays, but back when it felt like they were indie movies, it was very exciting.
Right.
Anyway, as a little hipster kid who went to film school and watched a lot of those. But anyway, Jaguar Shark. I'm excited. Let's crack it open. We have some Magic news this weekend. It's the 13th to the 15th. Is the Arena Direct for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Tutors.
Sorry.
Oh.
It did sound
leads
like
right
tutors.
into Strixhaven. It's perfect.
Hey, there's a tutor in this set. We could talk about that one. But anyway, the collector booster boxes for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming up this weekend. You can play in it. It's great. Yeah, it's expensive. It's like 8,000 gems, but you could win some sweet cards in real life. 8,000. What is that in like regular dollars? Like,
well, 20,000 is like $100 US, right? USD.
Yeah.
So,
So
geez, you know, we're getting up there because
it's close.
yeah, we're
It's
talking like $40 US. So
Yeah.
for us Canadian folks, what's that, like $50, $60?
something like that. Yeah. So a little expensive. A little expensive for this
And
one.
normally I do like two of these and scrub out. So that's like $120 to get nothing.
Yeah, just to get
That's
nothing. I honestly, I'm gonna skip this one. I think I talked about it last week, but I got hit pretty hard with the last couple ones. I always want to make YouTube videos for them, but you know what? This one's okay. I think I'll leave this one. Though I will say, like, coming into the set, I was like not interested in them because I was like, I don't really need the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. Like, I don't care.
Sure.
But after looking at the cards and playing with them, I do still have my gripes with the set, but I have a little bit more of an emotional attachment to certain cards. I kind of like it a bit more, and it would be fun to have some of them. And,
But if you won the boxes, would you open them? I never opened mine, so
the collector boosters, I would open them, yeah.
you wouldn't sell them?
No, because I know myself, I'm not good at selling, like, sealed product. I would open them
weakness.
for... Well, I mean, like, I think it's also because I would open them to make, like, TikToks and stuff.
Oh, okay,
and
sure,
then
yeah.
I could sell the cards afterwards. As opposed to just, like, I don't know.
I guess I'm also not good at selling sealed product because I put
you
it
have.
in my basement and then say I'm going to sell it and never do.
That's true. How's that set booster Ixalan thing going?
Yep. I have two set boosters of what is it? Not rivals. Ixalan
Lost
Caverns. Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one's hard because the set boosters are fun to open, but not as fun as the collector boosters.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really play with them. So they're kind of they're kind of awful. They
It was
kinda
like the
suck.
worst one to win. Of course, I spiked that one. The
Yeah,
full
yeah.
7 wins to get both boxes.
It's because nobody was playing
Nobody was
it.
playing it. My opponents were people who misclicked into this event.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I thought this was a really expensive draft for some reason. Anyway, if you don't feel like playing the Arena Drake this weekend, however, which I do like these events, I'm just personally not going to be playing this one. Also, who cares? I'm not playing it. There is a historic metagame challenge this weekend, which is kicking off our several metagame challenges this set cycle, which is pretty cool. Like we said last week, I'm so happy to have this events calendar, which gives me accurate, up-to-date information for the next 6 weeks. So this is awesome. You can look forward to it. Like after historic, we go into, I think, pioneers right after that, which is always fun. The metagame challenges are great just if you're trying to farm packs and gold. But yeah, it's like if you want to play the standard one,
and you get solid prizes if you do well. So
they're real prizes. Yeah, so the standard metagame challenge, if that's the one you're focused on, is April 3rd to the 5th. And now you can practice and get ready for it. That's awesome. I love that. It's so nice. As opposed to kind of just getting surprised by it. I like information.
Is when's the planar standard metagame challenge?
Interesting.
I'd be all over that one.
That would be pretty sweet. Now, to be fair, if Wizards did it, they would probably have to change the name to something dumb.
Be a horrible name.
Yeah, just like, and then it would be a name that was so bad people wouldn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, maybe they do that on purpose. They have like a bad name guy that they're like, we need this format killed. Send it to them.
Yeah.
Let's officially adopt it, which is strike number 1 against the new format.
Exactly.
And then we'll give it to the bad name guy to really make sure it gets crumbled into dust.
Because imagine that they took pre-modern and then adopted it and changed it to something else that was just I don't know. I'm sure they would call it old school or something. Well, old school's already a format.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would call it. Not that old school is a bad name. Sorry for everyone that plays old school out there. But I don't know. Maybe they call it Type 3 or something.
Oh,
that would
God.
actually be great. That would be kind of a funny name.
Or just Type 2,
those-
because that's what it sort of is.
Was Type 2 Legacy? So for
Type
you,
2 was standard, but they changed it like it's standard now. They changed it to standard.
what was Type 1?
There was Type 1 was Legacy, I think. Yeah.
Legacy. It was everything. Type 1.5 was extended.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Type 2 was standard. Okay.
Or I guess Vintage would be Type 1 because it's everything goes.
Everything goes. Anyway, so these were what the formats used to be called back before like Mirrodin. I maybe they still called it during Mirrodin. I can't remember. But I remember there being a change because I had already learned all the other ones, the types of the formats. And then after I had just started playing, they changed it to standard. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, that makes a lot more sense. It's way less confusing.
Yeah.
It's just not a bunch of...
You don't want just a bunch of numbers. And like they're wedged in. That's the worst part was Type 1.5. Yeah. They got wedged in because it's between 1 and 2, but I guess conceived later. So they
Yeah.
It is.
Really dumb. So,
and we're giving the bad name guy a hard time, but I did like Explorer. I thought that was a good format name.
That's true. Explorer was good.
Then they killed it. So
they killed Explorer and then killed Pioneer as well, which is funny. So, but you can play in the metagame challenge on the 27th to the 29th. So, keep an eye out for that if you're interested.
Planar Pioneer, which is Explorer.
Isn't Planar Pioneer just standard right now?
No. So Planar Pioneer will be what Explorer was when it died, and it's not. It's fixed in time. It doesn't grow.
It.
It's just
there's no more sets that get put into it. Oh,
that's the format that I liked.
It feels more like that instead of planar Explorer. It seems it's more like meditation realm, where it's like you are stuck in this time and you cannot leave, and there's no new cards added. The format is what it is, which is it Phoenix and like Rakdos mid range.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, I'll play the Is It Phoenix, I guess.
And there was two different kinds of Rakdos decks. If you wanted the vampire style or the pure mid range, I just play the best cards thing.
I mean, yeah, that was that All Will Be One when that was no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Murders. Oh, obviously that was Murders of Karlov Manor because that's when we got the Rakdos. That's what we got the vampire package. Right?
Vein Ripper.
Vein Ripper. Sick name. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I picked it as a pretty good card when that set was spoiled.
All right, shut the fuck up, Jeff. I was trying to do a good segue. I was saying, speaking of cool formats, there's a sweet
if
format.
We're going to mention good picks you made. We got to mention some good picks I made.
I was in the middle of something right there. Anyway, Jeff, speaking of good formats, Peasant Cube is a really great format, and we play Peasant Cube on our Discord channel once a month. If you're interested, join our Discord. It's sweet. It's for free, but you can also go to our Patreon, and if you're a Patreon member, you get some tokens in the mail, some stickers, as well as your Discord name becomes green, which is really nice, just to show that you paid up and you're a really cool dude.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you, green names out there. Super cool.
Gotta hand it to you, man. That was a sick segue. Nailed it.
God damn it. I try to do cool things and then Jeff just ruins them every time.
That's the dynamic, man.
All right, Jeff, let's go. Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's talk about draft.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right, so this is our on draft episode where we basically talk about the draft format, but a lot of what we're doing is kind of talking about what color pairs are performing the best, kind of for us, but also for 17lens.com, which is the premier, statistical data collection thing for arena players. It's a great website. You should check it out. You should be using it, and which is one of the reasons why we kind of talk about it on the show. But it's also a super helpful tool, which is a reminder it is a tool and not just fact. So take all of this with a grain of salt, and we're going to kind of talk about some of the numbers that we agree with and don't agree with, because of, well, data things. But yeah, this is also the tool that we use to tell whether our Pack Zero Pick 1s were good or not. We're just kind of, this episode is just to put a pin in it, to just be like, oh, which cards look pretty good, and then we will take the final. The set's only been out for like maybe a week, so like things will change a little bit. There will be some corrections, but by the end of the format, we can go back to our Pack Zero Pick 1s and see whether they were great or not. But I don't know, Jeff. Looks pretty okay. Looks pretty okay to me. Pretty interesting. All right. So to start us off, I also thought it was kind of interesting that this format, people coming into this format, we're talking about how this is a pick two format. So
I haven't heard that. Lay it on me.
You didn't hear this was a pick two format?
Oh, I thought you were saying like people have played it and decided pick two was better for this format.
No. I meant like good. Before the set came out, people were like,
"Whoa, that's a twist."
No. The opposite, actually. So, pick two is a draft format where you only have 4 players, and each pack you open, you take 2 cards instead of just 1. This is a really great way to help smaller groups in person draft. It's fun to play. You can do it, but all of the upsides to pick two, or almost all of the upsides, are for paper play. Like almost all of them, which is you don't have enough people for an 8-person draft, which can be, if you've ever tried to put a pod together, hard to do. As well as if you play Commander with a group of Commander people, that's the perfect number to play.
I think that's what it is, right?
Two.
Like lining the number of required players with the most popular paper format does make sense.
It does. So I get that. On Arena, the drafts go by extremely quickly, like half as fast, or sorry, twice as fast. That's the number. Yeah, and the prize structure is different. Once you get 2 losses, you're out, and you can only win like 4 wins. So like 4 and 1 is the best you can do, or is not the best you can do. Sorry, that's a trophy, but you had a loss. That's the most games you can play is 5 games. And it's a little. I think the prize structure is a little underwhelming. Now I'm second guessing whether it's 5 wins or not. To be fair, I've just been kind of putting it on the back burner because they actually offered Premier Draft for this set, and so that's what I've been playing.
Which is the headline, right?
Yeah. This is what everybody wanted. This is the main gripe. Sorry. This was a big gripe with Spider-Man, not the main one. And I don't think Spider-Man would have been saved by Premier Draft, but I think this set is getting saved by it because it doesn't feel nearly as brutal to see the same legend going around the pack being like, well, I guess I'll take it this time.
Yeah.
Because obviously the wheels just kind of go.
Yeah.
So we have both of the numbers for Premier Draft and Pick 2. However, the 17 lands has shown us, the majority of players who play using 17 lands, which is something you have to sign up for, and then it scrapes your data from your account and all this stuff, are very invested players. And so they have shown that they prefer Premier Draft because our numbers for Pick 2 are so low.
Right.
But... so it would be interesting if we could have just like arena numbers for it, because I wonder how many new players are playing Pick 2, or people that just expected, oh, we should be playing Pick 2. It was made for Pick 2, which, whatever. That's a whole other conversation that we'll probably get to in a little bit, because I just know myself, and I'll probably just bring it up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see some tiny little differences, but for the most part, I think this is a Premier Draft. We should be playing Premier, and the price structure is better anyway, and it's I just like it. But
I was going to say, too, when I click into, like, TMNT Limited in my Arena client, Premier Draft is the first choice, and Pick 2 is offered, like, later. So, to me, that does signal a little bit of, like, if you're not sure what you're supposed to do, you would pick the normal draft.
It's true.
I don't know how much personalization they do. My guess is almost none, because personalization is very difficult. So
yes,
I'm guessing that it's not just reading my like stats and thinking I would prefer. Although like it should do that.
It'd be cool if it did.
That's I think a little beyond the Arena client at the moment.
There's a lot of things that we could ask for. That's not one of the ones I'm asking for.
I don't care that.
Yeah.
I will happily select the format I want to play. But yeah, like there's a little bit of. I was kind of surprised to see that because I almost would have expected them to put Pick 2 first, just because like they want new players to choose it. But maybe the word Premier already scares new players away, and the fact that it's ranked, I don't know.
Pick 2 is ranked.
Oh, well then.
Yeah. So like all the drafts besides traditional draft are ranked. Right? So it's like Premier Draft is ranked, Pick 2 and Quick Draft. But traditional is not ranked. Sealed and traditional sealed are not ranked.
Boo.
Which are part of the reasons that I kind of have, like, when we were preparing for the Lauren Eclipse thing, it was like I was playing traditional sealed, and it was great, and I was having fun. The Spotlight. What did I say? I don't remember.
You said the Lauren Eclipse thing.
Oh, right. Sure.
For some people, the Spotlight tournament.
Thank you. Yeah. We went to the Spotlight. I'm still trying to forget it. But anyway, no, when we were preparing for that, we couldn't. I wish that we had a ranked sealed queue, and so that's when I started to take more stock of which ones were ranked and which ones weren't. So the fact that Pick 2 is ranked is kind of bizarre because.
Even ranked traditional would have helped, just because you're playing traditional limited Magic with the sideboarding and the best two.
Exactly.
Stuff,
yeah.
So.
And the reason that we want it to be ranked is because most players want to play ranked. It's just, or most competitive players want to play ranked. That tends to be the thing, unless they're specifically. I don't know. Sometimes your opponents are just a little softer than you want them to be. You're like, oh, he made some bad mistakes. Well, to be fair, I'm sure that happens when I play against people all the time. They're like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. And it's me, like, making bad. When I was playing recently, I made some really bad plays, and I kept going, oops, because I was like,
it's like,
it's
I
very obvious I should have done something else.
I understand that was a bad move.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like dumb things like that, where I, like, don't attack my 1/1 Leonardo cutting edge into their 1/2. And then after combat, play a gain land. He becomes a 2/2, and I should have attacked. I was like, that was stupid. Yeah. I was like, oops, that was so dumb. I just forgot that I just forgot. I'm just not paying attention. Whatever. Yeah. I got like dad brain. It's fine.
Just fell into the like typical flow trap where it's like normally you play your lands post combat to not reveal information.
Exactly. Where I'm just kind of like, sometimes you get in a vibe, right, and you're just going and. Well, then you end up doing badly. But anyway, as far as decks are concerned for 17 lands, our archetypes, there's one kind of interesting thing going on, is that I wasn't really expecting this, and this is not what we saw in the last draft format either, is that there are 5 supported archetypes, and they're all the enemy colors, right? So we have Boros, we have Orzhov, we have Golgari, Izzet, and Simic. I always forget about Simic.
Right.
But anyway, so normally, at least what we saw with the last set that was like 5 archetypes, was that all 5 of the best, like those supported archetypes, were at the top, and then the 4 unsupported archetypes, or the 5, were on the bottom, right? Yeah. And so that's what you'd expect. You'd expect to, if you're a supported archetype, you do well, even if there's a couple of rares or whatever. Your deck's not going to come together. You're not going to be playing like whatever ally colored deck. It just doesn't. It might come together every once in a while, but the majority of the time, it's just not going to work out. Which means that your percentage points in 17 lands would go down drastically. However, this is a little bit different. There are a couple decks that are not quote unquote supported that are doing pretty good. They're just like forcing themselves in there. I guess there's something with the mechanics in the set, or like they're ones that I would. What I'm trying to say is I would hope this to be the case, where it's like it's kind of cool that there's like these unsupported archetypes are doing well and performing well in this draft format because of the different cards, or maybe because a certain color is strong.
And like you say, this sort of existed in Lorwyn, right? Where like you could play the white-black like -1/-1 counters deck.
The tree folk thing.
Like that was a thing that you could do, but it was rare that you would want to do that. Generally, just like being the second merfolk player was better than the tree folk, unless your seat really just was there for it.
Yeah, you need like lots
of have the draft where it spiked, but generally, it's not what you want to be doing.
What is it, like 1 in 25, 1 in 30 drafts? You should be like your seat is actually Orzhov, and you're like, oh, I'm getting all the uncommons and the rares for this Orzhov deck. I actually should play it.
Yeah, and I think you'd be better off in Lorwyn just ignoring all 5 of those options, like. You know, like you said, the 1 in 30 times it's correct to play Tree Folk. Probably the like second best Elves deck or the second best Kithkins deck is comparable to your Tree Folk seat, anyways. And so that's one of the simplifications I made going into the draft. I'm like, I haven't really drafted because I've spent all my time practicing Sealed. Like, I'm going to draft one of the 5 supported archetypes because that's a trap, I think, for me to like try to get into one of these. Unsupported ones that I don't understand.
Exactly, because the other thing that goes on is that if you do find yourself in the Tree Folk seat and you build that deck, the other half of the draft, I don't know if you know this actually, Jeff, you do have to play the games, right?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what so many of my drafts go so wrong.
Yeah, you just instant concede.
Playing.
Yeah. But that is the case. If you're more comfortable playing with the 5 supported archetypes because you play them more often, that was obviously makes sense that you would be able to play those well. And then if you only play the Treefolk deck once or twice before that, you're like, well, this deck's also
because it doesn't come together in Sealed, right? Like
so then you don't want to like roll the dice on this and be like, I could just make some misplays because I just haven't played with this deck before.
Like I don't have the reps with this archetype.
So I'd rather try to play okay, my deck isn't a 10, but I think I can maneuver my way around the game.
That's a great point too. And I agree with your point though that like even if there's 5 supported archetypes, this is what you would want to see, that some of the unsupported ones are not awful. These ones aren't dominating, the ones that snuck in here, but they're not the worst. And I did notice as well that it is archetypes that are sort of classically good in limited, or just like color pairs, I mean, that are classically good in limited. Like you always hear about blue-white flyers, or just green-white just has good creatures, so it's always a thing.
So
not too
what Jeff is
surprising
saying,
which ones actually made it through. But.
Yeah. So Jeff is saying that the unsupported archetypes, white-blue and white-green, are performing in the, they've made it to the numbers where they're in the middle They're kind of middle of the pack. They're right next to each other, 55.9% and 54.7%. I will say that the numbers are a little low of 17 lands right now. So
like the sample sizes?
The sample sizes are pretty low for those decks.
Right.
The decks that have a huge sample size are white-black, Orzhov. That's performing the best, which is 59.4%, not including splashes or stuff. And I am really happy. I was firmly thinking that white-black Sneak was going to be middle of the pack because the fact that the great enablers for Sneak, like in white and black at common, there's like one good enabler for Sneak, and that's the Squirrel Annoyeds. It's a 1/1 death touch. And I was worried that was just going to get traded with a little robot token. That just seemed to be like what was going to happen in my mind. And I was like, well, I feel like the white-black deck is not going to come together unless you have either of the uncommon Sneak payoffs, which both have flying. There's like a pigeon that's a 0/2 flyer that when it leaves the battlefield it makes a food. And then there's Dream Beavers, which is I talked about last week. Awesome card. 1/1 flying drains them when it comes into play. That's what you want. You want the Dream Beavers because that really just hammers home what you're doing. So the fact that white-black Sneak is doing so well makes me really happy. A little upset because I wanted to pick some of those cards a little bit higher, and in the Pack 0 Pick 1 I was worried they wouldn't perform very well because I didn't think the deck was going to come together all the time, but it does seem like it does come together, and it is, it has been played a lot. Like, its win rate is, it's won over 9,000 games, so that's amazing. It's been played even more than that, obviously. Compared to some of the decks, just so you understand what I'm talking about, Azorius, who is on, it made it on the board, but they've only played a total of 600 games, a little over 600 games. So it's okay, Orzhov seems like it's actually made its mark, and it's this is true, this is the truth. And Azorius, the white-blue deck, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see if that was just, it so happened that it made sense for those players to go into those decks. I'm still optimistic to see if they stay there. They could easily drop, but it's the same is true with a lot of the other decks. You never know. It's true. It's true. It could go up. It could go up.
Error bars are large on its win rate.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty interesting. The other decks right behind it are Boros, as always, at 57%. Well, sorry, not always, but often early in the format, Boros does quite well. And this Boros
another
deck
just
is
typical good limited archetype kind of thing.
Yeah. But then right behind that is Blue-Red, which is what I said was going to be the best deck, which is 56.7. So was hoping I could pump up Blue's numbers a little bit more. But I'm pretty happy with it being in the top 3. And all 3 of those have thousands of games played, so I feel confident that those are more accurate.
We'll have tons.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. But honestly, the top 5 decks are all the white decks, and then blue-red is just kind of jammed in there because green-white is also part of the top 5. And Jeff, there's one glaring thing. People are talking about it all over the place. It is the talk of the town. If you've been playing this, you know which card I'm talking about. There's an uncommon, which is performing at an A+ level, 65.8%. This card, I don't think we've seen an uncommon perform this highly in recent years.
No, a common, but not an uncommon.
Did we have a? Oh yeah, right. Modern Horizons 3. But the Mighty Mutanimals It's 2 white for a 2/1 creature mutant rebel. When it enters, you create a 2/2 mutant, and then it has alliance whenever another creature you control enters. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you get to trigger it immediately. It goes in the Boros deck, as well as any deck that's white, because every deck plays creatures.
It's also just like... Isn't this just like a 5/4 across 2 bodies for 4 mana with huge upside on top of that?
In white, yeah. Yeah, that just like keeps pumping up stuff.
Like even if you don't play anything else, you know. This is
good.
That's pushed.
It's a push card. And I don't know, this just seems... It just seems wild. I played against it, and I'd seen it, and I was playing with it, and I had noticed its power, but I didn't really think it was pumping these numbers.
A+ is wild. Like
A+ is wild. A+ is like you open the pack and you hope that you open this card. That doesn't happen very often. That you're in like, you know, you're picking this over most every mythic basically.
There's only 2 cards you're not supposed to pick this over.
Yeah.
And they're quite obvious cards that I don't think would ever pass. So.
Yeah. One of them is Sally Pride. That's another white card that you could play. It's a 5-drop. You play it right after this one. But it makes a ton of 2/2s and also puts counters on everything. So it's kind of like the Mighty Mutanimals is like the baby version of Sally, but it's like you see it more often. Wild. So this is part of the reason why white is doing so well, because of that. And then the last Ronin is a Golgari like board wipe saga thing. There's more to it than that. It's a very strong card, but I do think something happened with the I don't know, did you see that that announcement? There was something off with the I don't know, it's not the collation, but the metrics with the packs. The packs were opening more mythics than they're supposed to in draft.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And so I think that some of the performance rates on some of these cards might be a little... well, I guess if you open the last Ronin more often, it has a higher chance of doing poorly, so it is just proving itself to be good.
It's like a greater sample size, right? Like,
yeah,
this
so it's
is
just
a more
better.
reliable number.
You're right, yeah. So I was thinking the opposite of that, but no, you're right. It's,
I was just thinking that because I was going to say that about Sally Pride. Like, in a set like this, that's smaller, you see these ridiculous cards more often. So the fact that this is just a rare means, like, you're going to run into this fairly often. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, as often as not in a draft that you run, you will encounter this card in some capacity. Because especially like if you do well and you run long and you start playing against players who are also doing well, you're very likely to see this card, I think. Yeah,
and this is like, you know, Sally and the Mighty Mutanimals. These are the cards that you're looking to open in your sealed pools. And they're both double white, so like you're probably wanting to be pretty heavy white and play lots of little creatures.
But I like this sort of like segue into the Mighty Mutanimals, just talking about white's dominance, because one thing I wanted to say, just looking at these win rates, is this seems to be like the format of Mythic Uncommons, because obviously Mighty Mutanimals is the headliner, but there are 3 uncommons at A-, where, you know, only a handful of rares are better. This is the Dream Beavers that you already mentioned. In black, there's Courier of Comestibles.
Yeah.
Comestibles. 1 in the green for a 1/2. This is the human citizen that searches your library for a food card, puts it into your hand, and if you don't, you create a food. Kind of interesting to me, I guess, like with all the pizzas and everything. You can go find...
Yeah, I mean, like it finds all the pizzas. It goes best in the green-black, obviously, because you can get the anchovy and banana pizza. But you can also get your favorite card, Jeff, the Pizza Man himself.
Yeah.
So
But like I was surprised. I like this card obviously, but I'm surprised to see it at A minus. Like just reading it, I was like, hey, that's a solid card. But apparently, this is the best green card overall. It is an A minus. That's a little surprising.
I am also surprised to see that. It's making me reevaluate some stuff where I'd seen it when I was playing more recently. I basically did a thing where I was like, we had talked last. I was busy this weekend, so I had a draft that was like smoking everybody with. I was 4-0 with my Is It Artifacts deck. Waited like 3 days to finish the draft because I had family in town. I was doing some stuff. I was playing it last night. And all of a sudden, all my opponents, my first two opponents, just rock me so hard. I was like, I thought my deck was pretty good, and I don't know what's happening, but this was one of the cards that was jumping in the way, and I was like, that fucking stupid thing. Even if it was just making a food in the deck where I was, I was doing little pings and stuff, and I was just like, this.
Yeah.
You're annoying. You're annoying to me. But I think it also has something to do with the courier can also get the everything pizza.
Yeah, that's where this was leading. Is the other sort of mythic uncommon, and this one's huge to know because this is sort of it's a separate thing. I would think like
it's a different deck.
Card. It doesn't just feed into one of the archetypes. This is the card you want for this other archetype, which is the 5-color deck, and so. At first I was like, whoa, a mythic uncommon that's colorless. Like, that's huge to know about, and then I was like, oh no, it's sort of the opposite of colorless, but...
it's way harder to play, actually.
But just for those who don't know, this is the one that, when it enters, you get a basic land, and then you can do the, like, door to nothingness thing, whatever. You play, like, 2 in Wooburg, sack it, and then it gains 3 life, draw a card, opponent discards a card, deals 3 damage, puts 3 counters. I guess that's almost like a... What was that card called back in the cards back in the day that used to do this that like Gab Nassif famously top decked?
Oh, you're talking about the ultimatums?
Yeah, this feels like almost cruel ultimatum-y, but
yeah, it does one of those things where it's like one of every color, right?
Right.
You do the white thing, then the blue thing, the black thing, the red thing, the green thing. I also wonder I want to know how that raptor is performing. There's like a common raptor that can get food back from your graveyard. And I wonder if that also fits into that deck. Yeah, the Ragamuffin Raptor. It's like performing at like a C level, but it seemed like kind of like a meh-ish card. It's like 4 and a green, 5 mana for a 4/3 dinosaur. And when this creature enters, return up to 1 target creature or food card from your graveyard to your hand.
I think this was Gemini's pick, wasn't it?
Was it Gemini's pick? Oh, you're right. Oh, man. Oh boy. Usually in general I think that the 5 mana get something back from your graveyard feels kind of bad because you usually like the 3 mana ones are great because you get to play it and then hopefully play the card that you got so you have a big turn where you double spell. So the 5 mana version I was like, I don't know. But getting some of these food tokens back, like I mean you do get anchovy banana pizza, but if you're in the 5-color deck this would be also interesting to do the everything pizza thing. Over and over again, if that's your win con.
And I did want to just comment on the everything pizza that, even though, like, I appreciate that the white ability they chose was that you gain 3 life, so that
it does.
You do sack this food and gain 3. I mean, you can choose your opponent, I guess, but almost always choosing yourself with that, and so it does actually do the food thing where you sack it and gain 3 life.
That is a good call out. I think that's great. That it's like the first ability that it has is the normal food ability, and then the rest of them are tacked on. Yeah, I like that. That's really nice. Because it would be in their philosophy that every food has to be sacrificed for life, 3 life specifically. Yeah. Similar to now they have the philosophy of every land must tap for mana, where in the past, like back in the 90s, that was not a rule.
Yeah. And if you played with some of those lands, it's so weird. Like it's the right call to change it.
Because in your mind you think that every land should tap for mana, but then you look at some of them and they're like, oh, this one doesn't. It just takes up a land drop, right? So you're like, either I play a land for the turn or I play this cool card that
sort
is
of
really
like
strong.
an artifact or enchantment, but it takes up a land
Yeah.
slot instead of costing mana. It's
It's
definitely interesting design space, but like Magic's not lacking for design space. I do like the idea though that this because the way I thought about it as I read this card, I was like, oh, it doesn't do the food thing though, and I was like, oh, it does. You slime, motherfucker. But
they hit it in the middle.
It does say target player gains 3 life, so I'm wondering. If I target my opponent, is the flavor that I'm shoving this disgusting pizza down their mouth? I'm like, you eat your pizza.
Wait, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it. Yeah. What is the pizza? It's like mushrooms and jelly beans or something, or black beans.
Yeah, that's the slice that they're pulling off. But there's like,
there's honestly I will say of all the pizzas, this one looks the most appetizing. Because there's like pepperoni,
one of the slices
there's a lot of
looks
mushrooms.
like pepperoni and mushrooms. I'm just into that.
Yeah, it's like that just looks like good pizza. Like there's a
what I
lot
would
of mushroom. I think there's mushrooms on every single slice of this. Did they
There
imagine
is,
that?
I was going to say the olives one has a little slice of mushroom there, doesn't it?
There's mushrooms there. Yeah, there's like peppers and mushrooms. There's a lot of beans. The one that they're pulling looks like blue jelly beans.
Yeah, that looks like the worst slice that they're selecting there.
Yeah, because they want to highlight that one. But like, I don't know. As a kid, did you
also
like
like
mushrooms
there's
as a
being
kid?
cut with his samurai sword. Sorry, what'd you ask me?
When you were a kid, for pizzas, or I guess any time, I'm assuming you eat mushrooms now. I guess.
Yeah.
But were you ever the mushrooms can't be on the pizza? Like I won't eat it if mushrooms are on it.
I don't think I was necessarily, but like my mom doesn't like mushrooms, which means
gotcha.
it basically would not have shown
Which
up
is
on
never
my table because
be
she
on
was
pizza.
she was the cook.
Gotcha. I guess that makes sense.
So I honestly don't really know. I think I just kind of assumed I didn't like them because it's not something kids like, and my mom didn't like them. So I was just like, yeah, mushrooms just aren't a part of my life. And then when I grew up, I tried it, and I was like, oh, these are pretty good. Sure.
These are great. Yeah, I remember not really liking mushrooms or thinking they were on pizza. I'm like, I guess there's everything on the pizza, so you can just eat it and you don't really notice. And then I got older and I was like, oh, I put like a bunch of raw mushrooms in salads a lot because I was a vegetarian.
Oof, I like that move.
It was good. But I was like, but I don't really like cooked mushrooms. And then I started eating mushrooms like, these are awesome. And now
I've just been wrong my whole life.
Most recently, I've been looking into mushroom coffee. Do you know those?
Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole.
What was your conclusion to that rabbit hole? I want to know.
Mostly that it was too expensive, and so
that's what I also decided. Yes, it's way too like $70 for like a bag.
Yeah, like maybe this has the health benefits they claim. Probably not, but like it's just so expensive.
Yeah, I really wanted to find some because basically, if you don't know what it is, it's like the idea that there's like different types of mushrooms that could give you a similar coffee buzz without a crash, or just maybe not even buzz, just like help wake you up, be more alert or whatever. But the only place I could find that had it around me seemed to just have oils that they just put in coffee. So it was like here's a cup of coffee that also has mushrooms in it. That helps you not crash. Which I had that cup. It was great. I liked it, but I also don't know if it was because I just had an afternoon cup of coffee. Like I couldn't tell.
The coffee, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I drink lots of coffee. That was great. I felt good, which I don't always feel good. So maybe that was it. Who knows? But anyway,
it just felt a little pseudoscience-y, and I'd be willing to give it a try. If not for the incredible price tag.
Yeah, if it wasn't so expensive and something that expected you to do it like every day.
Right.
And replace something that's much cheaper than what it is. So maybe it's just a thing that you get when you're out and about sometimes, but not a at home at my house thing. Which...
Sort of like honestly, one of those fancy coffees, right? You go to a fancy coffee place, you pay too much for it, and you're like, I don't know if I can... really tell the difference, or worse, sometimes you're like, I don't know if I like this. But
that's really bad.
Yeah.
I hate that. You overpay for coffee, and you're like, actually, this kind of sucks. I wish I just went to like Tim.
Yeah, I just want like the stuff I make at home.
Yeah, this would just be better. Anyway, I just think that's this specific art makes me think that it's just so interesting. There's so many mushrooms on it. It makes it seem like, oh, is that like a classic Ninja Turtles one too? That's like, oh, to make it kind of gross, just add mushrooms and whatever toppings, and it's going to be like a little funky. Or
also, who took this order where every slice is different?
Yeah, it's just horrible. And they, well, there is one art in the set where they have like a bunch of pizzas that they're running away from the guy, and they're like stacked really high. So I'm sure they have like a frequent buyer card or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, these guys. It's like they're gonna buy like $300-$400 worth of pizza, so we will make the pizza just for them.
Right. Do what they say.
Because they literally only eat our pizza. But like also, did they pay for that? Wait, how did the Ninja Turtles pay for their pizza?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Okay, all right.
You know the original is pretty dark, right? This is all about extortion. Like they provide the protection for the pizza clubs. If you know
so they're like the sewer mafia.
Yeah.
And then they just get paid in pizza. That's interesting. I guess, Jeff, this is as good a time as any. I've been wanting to know this since we're already on a tangent. With the Ninja Turtles, who is your favorite of the main four?
Honestly, I don't really know. I never got super into the Ninja Turtles other than the Super Nintendo game Turtles in Time that I used to play with my friends all the time. That game was
Did you have to pick, but you had to pick a character, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't know that I consistently picked the same one. The memories I have in my head are the one with the like GTAs.
Yeah, I think he technically has size.
Okay.
But in the Magic set, he has GTAs, yeah.
Yeah, they remind me of Umezawa's GT. He had two of those. I think.
Yeah.
That's like the memory that's in my head of playing that game. I was playing as that guy.
Gotcha. He's the red one, the
Raphael. Yeah, but the red. I guess that was an easier way to pinpoint it. Yes, the red one.
Yeah, there's like a whole statement about how WotC changed his weapon to GT because it was a whole rabbit hole of like the GT is a more traditional Japanese weapon as opposed to the size, and Splinter trained through, like, they were going through all these comics and all the different things to kind of say, we think this makes more sense, and also it fits with Magic better. Except for the fact that the GT in the set isn't, it doesn't have GT abilities, it's just Double Strike. So it's like, hey, here's a cool GT that gives Double Strike instead of any sort of counter or anything. It doesn't even have first strike, and then you get a counter, and then you can give it Double Strike to deal extra damage or whatever.
Shameful.
They could have done something cool with that, but instead they decided not to.
Raphael's GTs. It could have been just like it doubles. It's Sumazawa's GT, but it doubles the amount of counters you get because there's two of them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That would be super chill and not a problem at all.
Yeah. So they should.
The main reason, well, it's interesting that you picked Raphael, because that is actually one of the characters that I was less interested in. Because for me, the normal pattern of what I thought of was, I thought about this not a lot, but like, you got to pick your favorite one. And it was like, well, Leonardo to me was the cool one. I mean, he's the leader. He's got samurai swords. So he seemed like the main character. Obviously, I couldn't pick him because I can't pick the best.
You never pick the main character.
No.
No, you got to be hipster in everything you do.
Yeah, and that's how I felt as a child, constantly. So then Michelangelo is a great next pick. He's orange. He's got the nunchucks. He's fun. He loves the pizza. He's always, he's just a great hang. But no, that was another one that people liked a lot. And then Raphael seemed too mean. I was like, I don't want him to be my favorite. So I kind of landed on Donatello as the nobody else likes him. He's got the purple mask, which I actually, as a kid, purple was my favorite color. And which I do like purple, but I also think it was because nobody's going to pick this one, and I picked it. And it was part of my personality. I'm trying to beat that out of me, but there's still a little bit of that there. I literally just talked about Wes Anderson.
I'm so like contrarian. I grew up so contrarian that now I'm just like liking the things that everyone likes is like very practical. Actually, it's
just do that.
Yeah.
It's
don't fight it. Like if you actually like it, then just like it and
just
accept
like it.
that.
Yeah.
But,
so
I've been navigating that myself. I would have think like I didn't know the characters' personalities, right? So I honestly think this would have been motivated a lot by choosing a guy that my friends didn't want, because they would like pick their thing, and I'd be like, okay, I'll be the red guy, like whatever. Nobody wants the red guy. They all do the same thing in this game, like
right. They hit and they doesn't
you
matter.
throw guys at the screen and it comes at you and it's crazy and it's awesome, but they mostly all are the same, so it doesn't matter to me. I'll be the red guy that nobody likes. Could very well, like I don't really remember, but that could very well have been the reason, because I would have been like, okay, I'll be the red guy, why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how video games go a little bit. You get the controller that nobody liked, which is a thing of the past now, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, anyway, Donatello was my favorite, and I think I don't necessarily identify with Donatello at all. He's the super like smart computery one.
Okay.
And I'm not like that at all. Not that that's bad. I just know myself. I'm just not that. I feel like I had something else I wanted to talk to you about that had nothing to do with magic, but that's okay. Let's get back on track.
All right. Let's jump back in with.
Well, our next segue, basically, it was we were talking about everything pizza, right? Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to highlight what I think might be happening is that the Simic deck is like bottom half. It's the worst performing of the 5 supported archetypes, which means that it's, there's 2 unsupported archetypes above it, so it's not doing extremely well. 50.2%. However, I do think that blue-green is the one that tends to be one of the base colors for the 5-color deck, and it kind of is like you don't always want to be just blue-green. You want to be playing other colors or splashing other colors.
Yeah.
While I was looking at some of the actual data for the different decks that would kind of go into that, I didn't have enough of a sample size to put a big stamp saying like, yes, this is better. Right. Sultai is, a lot stronger than straight Simic. And as far as 5-color decks, they're actually like 62.3%. Like they're doing quite well. If you can get the 5-color thing going. And I think that the 5-color deck leans heavily on the green and blue cards. Because that just is kind of how those decks work out. So it being so low, I think is more of a case of Simic isn't supposed to be just green-blue. It's supposed to have other colors in it.
Yeah.
And if you play straight Simic, you're probably doing it wrong. So keep that in mind.
That's a great point. And one of the things I've seen from this data, just looking at it, is that green, like we kind of talked about it, green has no good rares. So this uncommon is the best green card at an A- that we talked about, and then the next best is like a common, Frog Butler, at a B. So if you're going to do and we see that the green-black and the green-blue are the worst performing supported archetypes, and I think part of it is just that green doesn't offer the raw power that you can get from some of the other colors. And a way to subsidize that is to do 5-color, because if green can facilitate a 5-color, you could play rares in any color, in other colors, to up your power level. Or, we've already seen everything Pete says great. And so, but you can play, I don't know, some of these like really strong black cards or white cards or blue cards. I was going to say red cards, but there don't appear to be any good red cards. But you know what I mean? Like, if one of your colors isn't offering any power level in green, by going 5 colors, it's easier to subsidize that than if you just have one other color providing all the power. And so that could be part of it too. Like, green is excellent at being a support color for these other things. No. And it's easier to take advantage of that in the more colors you play.
I think that makes a ton of sense. And something I had been saying last week and seeing was that in the drafts, it felt like green was very open and green-blue seemed to be a thing. So I was kind of thinking that, you might be able to build a pretty strong green-blue deck because nobody wanted these cards. But I think that statement was wrong, and that you really should do exactly what you were saying. It's like supplement your power with other colors and use those as your base for fixing. And don't just hope that some of your turtle powers or your cowabungas or Venus are going to be good enough for you. And like you said, previously, the reason the white decks are so good is the opposite, right? Like, the white decks have all the power. So green-white is sort of one of the better green decks because it has all the good white cards. It's basically the kind of thing where you're trying to play white-black, and then you try to play white-red or white-blue, and then you're like, well, I guess green's open, so I'll just fall into this.
Right, green's always the fallback, and I still have my Sally Pride,
Yeah, or whatever. So, I did, as we're still kind of in the conversation of, like, the main decks, like, the bottom ones are blue, black, black, red, and red, green, all kind of in like 40s. The numbers aren't really worth going into because the sample size is so small. But maybe don't look into those. I did want to point out that over on the pick 2 side, for the most part, a lot of the archetypes are fairly similar as far as like win rates, except for white-blue has skyrocketed to be the best deck, randomly. It's a pretty small sample size, but it's 61.2%, which means that if you can build it, and I think it's a little bit easier to force stuff in pick 2 because you can really just nose dive straight into the jumping on the rails for a certain color combination, because you can pick 2 of the cards at the same time and make the packs look like there's nothing around. But I think that's pretty surprising. Excuse me. So that's quite strong. As well as we're going into like white black and then red white and blue red. But black green also gets a little bit of a bump as well. So I don't know if it's because you want to be able to, like, there's packs where you want 2 of the different cards or whatever. But it's just interesting to see them move around slightly, even though for the most part they're kind of the same. And I mean, Simic is performing the worst in the pick 2 category at 49.9%. But I really think that that's just because those are people with exactly what we said before. Those are people that should have been splashing or playing multiple colors and didn't know to do that. Yeah. But anyway, just seems kind of fun. I just like looking at the numbers a little bit for the pick 2 stuff, though. The majority of these have barely been played, so it's really just cementing that white, black, red, white, and blue, red are the decks you want to be in. So doing token stuff, artifact stuff, and sneak stuff, which they all kind of also work together. Yeah. I mean, you don't love sneaking a token, but if you got to do it, you got to do it, and that isn't always the worst
thing. If you restrict to like the 5 enemy colors, the story is kind of like you just don't want to be green.
Yeah.
And we sort of talked about what you can do else outside of the 5 enemy colors if you're green, but that's sort of the takeaway. And then, so the big stories are like, don't play green, play white. That's the TLDR.
Yeah. That's what it is. I had a couple things I just wanted to bring up. A couple things I want to bring up for cards.
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have time. No.
Well, Jeff, we've only been recording for like an hour. Usually we have like long episodes,
We just don't have time for. Maybe, I'm sorry.
Okay, how about I start? I can start with a nice one. I can start with a nice one where we're talking about powerful white cards. Okay.
Yeah.
You picked a legendary creature as your pack 0, pick 1 for white, and you did a good job.
Thank you.
I will say April O'Neil is the best white common, and I see it now. I see it. It's firmly got that position. I don't think anything's really biting at its heels. That's a good C+ right there. Dang.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping like B-, but fine. I'll take a C+.
Yeah. I will say Uneasy Alliance is right behind it, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah. That's what that is. The one other thing I wanted to mention, I mean, besides the fact that Black's best common is Squirrelanoids, which I mean, there's a tight race in Black between Squirrelanoids, Oroku Saki, which is a pretty sweet sneak card, but I refused to pick it because it was legendary, and Anchovy Banana Pizza. But Squirrelanoids, like I said before, it's just the 1-mana 1/1 death touch. I actually thought about picking it because of its potential being the best sneak card at common.
Sure.
That helped enable sneak. But again, I was worried that cards like maybe the best red common that I also picked, Mouser Foundry, was in there. This is pretty interesting. I thought that Mouser Foundry was going to be good. It's 1 and a red for an artifact. When it enters, you make a 1/1 robot, and when it leaves, you also make a 1/1 robot, which is the part of the text that actually matters a ton, because the majority of the time the play pattern of these blue-red decks is play Mouser Foundry, turn 3, play Nobody, which is the hybrid card for Izzes, which makes you bounce, return. It's a 3-mana 3/2, and when it enters, you have to return one other target artifact you control to its owner's hand.
Right.
And scry 1. And so you get to bounce the Mouser Foundry, you get another token, and then turn 4 you can play 2/2 drops, which is what you usually do, and that makes you have a really nice curve and a huge board.
It's nice.
And then use the Mouser Foundry later to blow it up to deal 3 damage to something, to make another token. Hopefully the whole time you're playing like Raph, the tough turtle, which does actually do damage to people. It seems like the rest of the red cards are not performing quite well at all, actually.
Manhole Missile's right behind Mouser Foundry, right?
Yes, yeah. Which is, we both picked that card. But besides that, the rest of them are kind of in the dumpster, which I actually didn't really kind of notice until we were talking at this moment. What is with red being bad in these small Universes Beyond sets? Like,
maybe red just needs critical mass, needs more cards.
Maybe.
But this looks just weird, right? Like, the best red card overall is a B. That's awful.
Yeah. That is awful. But, like, I know they're still doing well because the synergy with the blue deck is good enough, and the white deck obviously powers up everything, but that is wild. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think that some of these... I don't think that red is nearly this bad. But I'm also prepared to be wrong.
Right? Like, if you look at the color combo stats, it looks like green is worse than red. But then if you look at the individual cards, like, red has no good cards.
Yeah, it feels like red has, like, terrible cards.
Yeah.
That is bizarre. I don't think we've seen that necessarily. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's straightforward here. But
red's not winning on its power level, basically, is what I'm reading. It's like red is fine, but it has to be a synergy. Like, you have to be in on the synergy of the red deck. Mm-hmm. Or maybe the red-white deck is just like, the white cards are awesome and red's a fine support color. But the red-blue deck, for sure, is doing well on its synergy. Not on draw card power.
Yeah, I also wonder if some of, like, the multicolored red cards are helping out as well. As I'm kind of going through, I haven't seen anything super jump out at me besides, like, the Is It ones, which seem to be quite strong, which I also predicted.
Or it's what you were saying with the, like, increased mythic rates, and people are just opening a lot of Northwind avatars, like, way more than they should. It makes their Is It decks better.
I do feel like I saw a bunch of that card, which was so annoying. So I'm interested to see how this format shifts and shapes up.
It's a very unique, like early format results here.
It is, which is cool.
Yeah.
And in the end, like, I'm still interested in playing this format, which I think when we were playing Spider-Man, I was already interested in stopping, like, just not playing anymore. Because, I don't know, Spider-Man just wasn't fun. Like, this set does feel fun. The cards feel interesting. I feel like I have interesting game actions or ways to play. I think that there's still too many legendaries, but it doesn't... Maybe in the Premier Draft, it doesn't feel like it's pinching me as much. But that's also because, like, I don't pick them crazy high. Like, I'm not going to pick a million Aprils or Rafts or whoever. Just because I know, like, if I see the first one... Sometimes I don't pick the first one, even if I want it for my deck, because I know more will come.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things, right? We're like, okay, April's the best white common, but do you first pick it?
Like,
maybe?
Probably not. Or do you just pick it? It just sucks because then you're going to see more of them. You're like,
but you are passing it that way, right? So if you take like Uneasy Alliance over April, it's like, are you sending the signal that white is open?
I don't know. So that is a weird thing.
Yeah. Unique to these like small legendaries are 50% of the set kind of deal.
It's just so stupid. They should just not do that.
Well,
like,
I don't know if they are going to stop, to be honest.
I wasn't really... I'm sure that somebody in Reddit somewhere was like, aren't Universes Beyond sets going to be really brutal for, like, legendary stuff?
Yeah, right.
But holy crap, are they brutal. I mean, like, especially when you're making multiple versions of the same characters. Which, to be fair, is a lot of these things. It's like, how many different versions are there of Iron Man where he's got different stuff?
Totally.
I guess that is one thing to say. I think LSV's been talking about this, but a bunch of other people have kind of been mentioning it as well, that just, like, the fact that we're playing with the actual cards is really nice.
As opposed to the
Omen Paths thing.
Omen Paths, yeah.
Yeah. Which Originally I was thinking like, oh, the Omen paths are kind of nice. Then we don't have to have the Universe Beyond. Like Spider-Man doesn't have to be on Arena. We can kind of have our own thing. But ultimately, it just made it really confusing, and they didn't all look great. It was weird because they were all spiders. Like this would be the same thing. It would be weird if they're all like mutant Ninja Turtles.
How would you even do this set?
Yeah. So it makes me.
The spiders was
happy.
a bit of a stretch. This would be crazy.
Crazy.
It would just end up being Ninja Mutant Turtles who like pizza. Right? It would just be like that's what it has to be. Oh god,
the pizza would be so stupid.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it would just not work at all. So it makes me happy that this set is fun and I can actually, engage with paper people, which is, important. And I've been saying that forever. I think it's important to keep the community, conjoined.
Yes.
But also at the same time makes me not interested in Marvel superheroes because that will be Omen Paths 2, Electric Boogaloo.
It never really bothered me. The only thing is sometimes when you go get deck lists, even arena deck lists, they still have Ultimate Spider-Man instead of Cavero or whatever. That's annoying.
Yeah. Which luckily they would. I think arena knew that and they would change it. But when you're reading that, when you're just looking,
it's when I'm looking at a deck list more than anything. It's not issues with copy pasting. Card? It was just when I'm looking at results from the arena championship, you should probably show the fucking arena card.
That is true. Yeah, so you're not typing in Superior Spider-Man. Well, I think it still comes up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird. It really sours the whole Marvel thing of an IP I'm already not super stoked on to be like, oh, now
I get some half-assed reskins
thing where you have to be really invested to remember the different ones, and it's just
man, yeah. There's so many legendary characters that they have to make up so many too with when they do an Omen Path thing like that.
Yeah, so that's just even more whatever. Yeah, we'll see when we get to Marvel superheroes, but we might just skip the whole thing and just be like, you know what? No.
We'll just be like, it's not affecting planar standards, so we're not going to talk about it.
That's true. It's true. Why would we have to worry about it if it's not affecting planar standard?
We play planar standard and planar draft.
Yeah, I love that we are like the arena regulars, but we are not playing arena only formats. In fact, we're gonna if we're really invested in playing formats that aren't even on arena.
Yeah.
It's you know what? Arena has too many formats. Let's play a different one that isn't supported on Arena.
None of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I do think that's well, it's something that I'm interested in, which is the worst part. Isn't the worst part, but it just seems like a fun format. That could be a thing. It'd be nice. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to play in a tournament or something, or we'll have to brew some decks for the planar standard.
We definitely have to.
Could be a fun time, folks. But yeah. Anyway, Jeff, do you have any last thoughts about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Draft before we get going?
Yeah, I think, we summarized it earlier, but always worth saying again. This set is not as bad as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to play it, try to play white.
Play white. Okay. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Anyway, folks, it is time for our last call, which means that we are talking about the beer we've been drinking this evening, Jaguar Shark. Da, 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 da. Oh, I still have some in the can? Oh, boy. Wow. Oh, what a surprise. Oh, it was all sediment. Oh, I just ruined the last little sips of my beer.
What is this, your first time?
It is. I've never drank beer before. Anyway, we rate beers on this fun way. We talk about the tiers in Arena. We rate beers on the different tiers. It's a great time. But as we're explaining everything, don't feel bad. Because everyone's in different tiers at different times. So when we say that bronze beers are trash and horrible, we're not talking about you. We're just talking about bronze beers, right? Not the bronze players. I was in bronze recently. I
think I am in bronze.
The thing is, sometimes you stop playing ranked because you're practicing for a tournament, and then your rank degrades.
Yeah, tanked both my rankings.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you're like, whoa, what's going
on? Silver beers, similarly. No indictment of your personal skill level if you're in silver, but beers that fall in this category are boring or bad.
Yes. Gold beers are fine, but you wouldn't really drink them again.
Platinum is totally solid. You would drink it again.
Diamond beers are exceptional. You like these a lot, and you show them off to your friends.
Yeah, and Mythic, these are the best of the best. These are the mighty mutanimals of the beer world.
Nailed it. Cool. Jaguar Shark Hazy IPA. Really stiff competition this beer has.
Yes, this is a category with a lot of heavy-hitting competitors that we like a lot. And it's a reference to a movie that you like a lot. So this beer had a lot to live up to.
It sure did.
Did it get there? What do you think? Is this as good as the film? By Wes Anderson.
Yes, by Wes Anderson.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of him. No, this beer was... it was okay. It didn't have enough of the juiciness that I like, and it was just perfectly run-of-the-mill, forgettable. You know, if someone... Like, it's got a cool name. I don't need it to have a cool name and then be a crazy beer. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to taste like Jaguars or whatever.
Would you say it was too monotonous?
Sure.
Much like the dialogue in a Wes Anderson film?
Wow. Rude. Much?
Didn't you say that? They speak like very...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they speak very, like, monotone-ish. But it doesn't feel... I guess I wouldn't... Maybe I don't fully know what monotonous means, but it doesn't feel...
I meant monotone, I guess. Like, just
gotcha.
Sort of flat.
Yes, it was a little flat.
I was going to say, if this beer lives up to its namesake, then I will not be taking movie recommendations from you, because this was just okay.
Yes. No, this is definitely not like The Life Aquatic at all. It is not like the moment that we see the Jaguar Shark, and it has nothing of the awe. It's more like, aw, man, this is kind of cruddy.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It's not bad, but there are some great beers in this style. I think really you nailed it right away. Like, where's the juice, man?
Yeah,
where's the juice? You're gonna give me a hazy IPA with this like kind of tropical design on the can?
Looking.
You gotta give me some juice.
It's definitely hazy, but it tasted closer to like just an unfiltered West Coast.
Yeah. Which I guess technically, like, hazy doesn't necessarily mean East Coast, but come on.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
Yeah, and it looked like it too. So as soon as I poured it, I was like, okay, we're in for a treat.
Ooh, we got something here. Nope. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, gold.
Yeah, it's gold. It's gold. There's just Even if, like, you know, I try to remove myself from the fact that I feel like I was promised an East Coast juicy IPA and that's not what I was delivered. Even then, I don't feel like, you know, if I recalibrate and say, okay, what I'm drinking is a hazy West Coast, it still didn't really give me the goods on that either.
No.
So let's just go gold with this one.
Yeah. And obviously it wasn't disgusting, and it wasn't like we've rated one beer bronze on the podcast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair to give this bronze. But when I took my first sip, I felt lied to. That was right. I was like, what? This was not what I thought it was going to be.
Great.
But not in the cool way like white stouts do. You drink it and you're like, oh.
Yeah. But white stouts tell you at the front.
True.
It has the word stout in it, and you pour it, and you're like, this.
And also, it like looks like a lager, but delivers a stout. You know, it's like the under promise, over deliver thing, as opposed to the over promise, under deliver.
Yeah, that's what you need to strive for. Set the bar really low, so when you just skyrocket over it, people will be like, "Whoa, that was crazy!
That was the greatest thing ever."
Exactly. That's what you want to do. But yeah. Anyway, golds for the Jaguar Shark.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff, let's go to closing time. As always, you can reach us at Arena Regulars on Instagram and Blue Sky.
You may also find us on Arena itself under the username Arena Regulars Podcast.
If you would like to talk to me personally, you can find me at @theregular_Zach. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, all the different places. But Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is our Discord channel. Come chat about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tell us why we're wrong about the format. We'd love to hear it. Come chat about Standard. Come chat about Planar Standard. We have a newly minted discussion group for that.
That's right.
And like we mentioned at the top, we host a monthly Peasant Cube draft on Arena. It's super awesome. Only commons and uncommons. You don't have to worry about wild cards. It's just the commons and uncommons.
Easy.
And it's a really well-designed cube. It's super fun. Once again, we run that every month. It's totally free. All you have to do is say, hey, that sounds cool. I want to play. And the place you do that is in our Discord channel. The link is down below in the show notes.
That is right. Also, if you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review there as well. Go to our YouTube channel. Leave a little comment. All of these things help us a lot for our SEO or our, what is it, AI SEO? Whatever. What was it?
Just AIO, right?
AIO. That's what it's called. I didn't know if it was AI search optimization, search engine optimization, or whatever.
I mean, SEO still helps because the AI is going to search, but anyways, it's a whole rabbit hole.
Gotcha. But it helps the podcast a lot. But really, we would like to hear from you, and you can tell us why we should stop using the acronyms and stop talking about AI or whatever you want to talk about. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and the things below. This has been the Arena Regulars,
reminding you that if you want to do well in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles draft, you could play one of the supported archetypes, or you could just order an everything pizza.
Good night. All right, that's fine.